I'm sure if you're anything like me, you are setting some annual business goals. Now, every single year at the start of a new year, it's a new beginning. It's a new chance to absolutely dominate in your business. Now, I'm not sure how your business went last year. Maybe you went poorly. Maybe you went the same. Maybe you kind of grew a lot. But I want you to know that 2023 is a new beginning. And guys, I went from nearly having a bankrupt fitness business to having a fitness business that did over 7 figures a year in just 9 months. I want you to know with consistency, hard work, and dedication, anything is bloody possible. And this is coming from a kid. So if you have never met me before, my name's Jimmy. I dropped out of school in year 11. I was actually expelled. I had like learning difficulties. I wasn't like the best, student at being able to focus. I like in between that gap of when I left school, I thought I was going to play professional sport, but I wasn't good enough in hindsight, jumped around from job to job and really struggled for many years of my life. I wouldn't say I'm the smartest person in the world, but I do have the ability to implement what people smarter than me tell me to do at a really high level. And I have a really good work ethic. So if you have the same things, if you're willing to follow what people can tell you, if you trust them and you believe they're going to show you the right direction in your business and you can work hard, I know that 2023 is going to be your year and you are going to absolutely dominate. Now, before you finalize your annual goals for 2023, I just want to share with you just 3 very simple things that you must get right. Now, the first thing is your goals must be really specific and measurable. So as a business goal, I always set my goals of growing by 30% every single year. For those who have followed me a bit on socials, you might have seen like our 10-year plan to be able to go from $2 million a year to $27 million a year. And that keeps like the business like goal setting as such, like really simple. So the goal is to grow by minimum 30% a year, right? And if you guys do that over 10 years, you build a bloody incredible business. It'll be absolutely humongous if you're able to do that. And I picked that up from a book called Scaling Up by Vern Harnish. Highly recommend you guys read it or potentially reread it if you haven't had to have a read of it anytime recently. But just make sure your goals are very specific and measurable, okay? You want to make sure that you have revenue goals, you have exact numbers and targets, and not just a goal of like grow my business, increase sales, generate more leads. That's really vague, and there's no accountability that's possible off the back of vague goals, right? But you might have a top line goal. You might want to grow your business like by 30% like me, but then you might have some other specific goals that you want to hit in terms of your marketing, in terms of your sales, your delivery and things like that. And again, every goal just has to be really specific. And if you master this personally, guys, you are going to become a better coach for your fitness clients because they make the same silly mistakes that I'm sharing with you today. And again, I never want to act like I'm perfect with you guys. It's taken me many years to get even half decent at goal setting. And I still don't think, in comparison to some amazing people out there that, I'm the world's best. I'm just kind of sharing with you what works well for me. And you just want to make sure, guys, with your goals that it's realistic. And to set a realistic goal, you need to have a look at what your business actually did over the last 12 months, right? So if your business kind of like grew by 50% last year, then potentially you could set a goal of doing the same thing again this year, right? But if your business maybe stayed the same and then you want to double it or triple it, right? That would potentially be an unrealistic goal. And what that is, it's like me coming to you and saying, I want to lose 15 kilos in 28 days when I've been putting on a kilo a month over the last 15 months. You'd probably be like, Jimmy, why don't we set something a bit more, realistic with where you want to go with your health and fitness goals? But the same thing applies for your business, right? You want to make sure that you use what has happened in the past, dictate what you can do in the future. And that's where I really love the 30% growth, because let's just say if you were generating 10 leads a week on average last year, to go from 10 to 13, which is 30%, which is massive, is actually like pretty achievable. But if you're like, hey, I generated 5 leads a week in 2022 and I'd want to generate 45 in 2023, I hate to be the bearer of bad news, but you don't have the skills, talent, or execution right now to be able to have growth that quickly and that massively. Now, can you do it at some stage in your life? 100%, because anyone can, but you just want to make sure that your goals are very realistic. And that's where I'd always use that 30% growth target. It's always worked like really well for me, and it makes everything incredibly achievable. And then finally, guys, you want to make sure that you actually spend most of your time mapping out the actionable steps for you to succeed. And one of the best books that fundamentally changed my life forever is called Chop Wood and Carry Water by Josh Metcalf. Now, within that book, he talks about like not setting goals, which I'm not like a huge fan of. I want to make sure that you are setting goals and you have really big and aspirational goals, and you're writing down your goals each morning and you're reading them and you're like really, really clear with what they are. But you do have to spend 90% of your time mapping out the actionable steps for you to hit those goals and also becoming the person that deserves that goal. Because right now, if you have a goal of having a 7-figure fitness business and you're doing $200,000 a year right now, right? There's some actionable steps that you're missing that you're not implementing within your business. And also you're not the leader. You don't have the knowledge and the execution skills to actually own a 7-figure business. Otherwise you would already be there. And that's where most people go wrong. And I'm just sharing this from my experience where I've gone wrong over many, many years, where I spent too much time focusing on the actual goals, on setting the goals, all those kind of things, right? And not enough time in the actual planning and execution. How are you going to generate enough leads so that you hit your growth target? How are you going to improve your sales? Where do you need to improve personally? Maybe in your health and fitness, maybe in your relationships, with your business knowledge and acumen. Have you been saying for ages that you want to, read a book a month and you haven't done that for the last 3 years? What are the actionable steps that you can do to improve as a business owner, but then also the actionable steps so that you hit and absolutely crush your goals? So when you're doing your goal setting, right, is 10% of the page or wherever you're doing it should be your goals, right? And the other 90% should be the actionable steps of of what you need to do and who you need to become to get there. And I just want to share with you a couple of final things that I always look at when setting my goals. Is when we go to the actionable steps, one of the things that gives me great hope is I know that there is someone somewhere in the world who has already achieved what I want to achieve, right? They're already generating enough leads. They're already generating enough sales. They're already doing the revenue targets. They're already doing the profit targets. So when I map out my actionable steps, I map out what I already know that I need to do and what I should be doing to hit those goals, which is what's already in my knowledge base. But then I spend a lot of time investing in study and reaching out to people to be like, hey, if I wanted to improve my sales by 30%, who is the best mentor and the best coaching program in the world that I could join to make sure that that's reality? And they're like, oh, boom, Jeremy Miner, NEPQ, and Sales Sniper. They're the very best in the planet. Okay, roger that, right? Then you can go and you can start to reach out to those people. If you have a big gap, you can start to get mentorship from their amazing team and staff and things like that. So just always map out what your actionable steps are, but then also as well know that someone has the knowledge and someone has already walked the path before you. And if you can get access to those type of individuals and those type of coaching programs and you become the best student, you will achieve all of your goals in 2023. So guys, I'm wishing you the absolute best success in 2023. I hope you absolutely bloody dominate, because we need more fitness business owners who are helping a lot of people, who are helping people get fitter, stronger, leaner, eat better, sleep better, all those amazing things that we know happen when you're a healthy and fit person. I hope that this gave you a little bit of value on setting your goals. If you do have any questions at any time, feel free to reach out to me. More than happy to connect with you guys to help in any way that I can. I just want you guys to be as successful as possible and to have an absolute amazing fitness business that is helping an absolute ton of people, because I do not think the world is getting any healthier and fitter at the moment. So we need more people like you who are willing to step up, to be leaders, and to grab those people and change their bloody lives forever.